So would this be classified as weird joinery? It's like, what? I'm not sure what's going on here. You can see long grain, solid wood, obviously. It's got a 10 in there. Shop made plywood, veneered both sides. And this dude will go in here, maybe. Boom. Right? Panther router, mortise and tenons. Another panel in here. And something very special happening right here. Yeah, man. Hey gang, what's up? This video is about some concealed drawers. There's actually 4 on this project. And I first start out by drawing everything full scale on a sheet of, or on a piece of MDF or something like that, just to make sure that everything's gonna work. Once I like that, then I can refine the details and make full-size drawings on paper. Okay, so excuse the crudeness of my process here, but I've got this thing drawn and it's full scale. I didn't write that, but this is full scale. This is the front view, so this is the front of the dresser down at the bottom. You can see the leg down here. And this is the bottom drawer. That would be the side of the drawer. That's the drawer bottom. And here you can see that hidden rail that's on the inside of this panel, right? And then here's the hidden drawer. There's the drawer box, that's the drawer bottom, the front of the drawer box, and the drawer front. Of course, it opens out this direction. And initially I was going to put a bottom here, but I realized I could increase this drawer box height by eliminating this, so that's what I did. But it's really important to draw all this out so you can, make sure that you don't have any interference problems. Hope that makes sense. This is the chest of drawers. It's upside down, and you can see that rail that goes across, but it's on the inside, right? Here you can see there's like no rail down at the bottom. That'll end up being a drawer front. And ideally, up at the top is actually maybe a better place for a hidden drawer. I've done those before by utilizing that top rail, but I wanted to do something different. I knew the challenge would be to make that bottom drawer front tight to the panel, and everything had to be really strong. So there you can see that structural rail on the inside. And I suppose it goes without saying, but when you're building a cabinet like this, it's going to have some secret or hidden drawers. Everything needs to stay true and square. So start accurate, stay accurate. Not bad, right? You can see a little bit of a gap there, but it's the bottom of the drawer box. It is not going to show. These are tight, strong. And here's an added benefit of putting in a bottom like this and gluing it in solid, whether it's in a groove and it's glued in, or in a rabbet and it's glued in, is besides it not being able to rack, it's also not going to flex. That is so strong. I mean, you can just feel how strong that is. Flat, has to be, right? Yeah, man, that is awesome. So here I'm fitting those 2 lower rails. They're actually hidden drawer fronts, right? And occasionally something's not quite square, so I just add a couple of pieces of tape or whatever to make it fit. Kind of a custom fit. And sneaking up on a perfect fit with a shooting board and a shooting plane is ideal for a situation like this. At this point, my goal is to get this drawer front to just fit snugly on its own without falling, without being too loose, just like that. And then I can sneak up and, cut a little bit more till I just have a little bit of clearance. You'll notice a strong light back there so I can watch what's going on, right? It's just about right. And on the ends, this edge is beveled. And just the very front is straight. That way it doesn't have a sharp, acute corner. That's going to work. At this point, I remember feeling really confident that this whole process was going to work really well, and that rail down at the bottom could be a drawer front, and I would have minimal gaps to where they wouldn't be noticeable. Set that in place. So there's the bottom rail, which will match the top rail. That's fantastic, yeah? Okay, so here we are on the right side of the dresser, and there's a little finger pull that I added. Just makes it a little bit easier to grab, because the drawer front doesn't hang down past the drawer box much, so it needed that little cove. And now to get that drawer front centered, I have a piece of tape on each end, so that's about 4 thousandths, right? And I can anchor that in place, and then we can check the fit. And you've noticed that everything is pre-lacquered, so I don't have to worry about adding mill thickness, because a mill is about 1/1000th of an inch. So by the time I get everything lacquered, that would add another 4 thousandths to each end. So I allowed for that. Yeah, man. Beautiful, perfect fit. All right, so I got this dude in, and I want this to look like a top rail. In fact, it would need something to keep the cabinet from spreading, but that's what this guy does. So this keeps the front from, moving. And this is actually one of the drawers, right? And this dude is beveled on top just a few degrees, and the clearance here at the top is about 30 thousandths piece of Formica. And then on the sides or the ends, that has about, 3.5 thousandths piece of tape. And you might not think that's enough, but it should be plenty, because these are also beveled back slightly, and there's just a few millimeters of straight area here on the edge in the front, and then it bevels back on each end. So as this drawer goes in, it clears. There's zero lateral movement, so it should clear this without ever scraping. And then the main drawer front will go here. Of course, this is full of glue and needs cleaned up. The main drawer front will go here, and so when the door and drawer front are closed, it'll look like that. Then you will open this. This will just look like the top rail, when in fact, you'll have this hidden in plain sight. There's a bit of a recess under here, like a cove for a finger pull. And that'll go just like that. Boom. So I'm getting ready to add a drawer front to this drawer box, right? And I'm countersinking some holes from the inside, but since this is so narrow that it's at an angle and it'll pull the drawer front crooked, I want it to go in straight. Plus this large nylon part will contact, the top first. It's just not right. It's not going in straight. So here's what you can do. I've drilled a couple of holes, one on each side, just backing this up. Drill all the way through with just a regular drill bit. And then I can take another countersink, extend the drill bit almost all the way out, bring it in from this side, right? Chuck that up. Tighten it up, put the drill in reverse, and pull it. Matter of fact, you can use something like this to apply pressure. Now I have a nice countersunk hole. Even though this is narrow, the hole is straight. Sometimes if I don't pre-drill, I just add wax. And I like soft wax, like car wax or even a chapstick, instead of candle wax. And if I'm doing, adding a lot of screws for whatever the application is, and I have a big pile of them, I just blast the whole thing with some top coat or a silicone spray or something like that. That method is very efficient rather than adding wax to each screw. So I have a couple of nightstands, and this component here serves a couple of purposes. It keeps the distance between this panel and this one consistent because it's anchored, and then it's also going to serve as a means of attaching this top. So I need to create a cavity in the bottom of this that is 17.5 by 1.5 inches, and then a certain distance from the front so that this can drop over that. And here's a good shot of that cavity for the cleat. Awesome, right? So my target dimension in the front was 1 9/16 or 1 3/8. Boom, 1 3/8, and then this way, of course, I just need to be centered. 1 3/8. Me scusi, 1 3/8. And you know what's funny? One of the holes is, I can feel it underneath here. One of the screw holes when I mounted the template right there. I don't know what I was thinking. That's all overhang, but easy to fix, and I won't say anything if you don't. But yeah, man, that's awesome. So you may have noticed that this piece that I anchored down with glue and screws, I had rounded these corners with a 1/4 inch radius, right? Which matches the 1/2 inch diameter router bit, with the intention that I would be doing this. So a little planning ahead. And if you've already seen the build videos, you've probably already seen this, but hey, everybody likes a secret stash, right? Looks like a regular drawer and door, but in fact, ba-boom, hidden in plain sight. Yeah, man. The customer absolutely loved them. And then on the dresser, what, that little rail down at the bottom? Yeah, that's just a furniture component. Nothing special. And man, I got to tell you, when a client sees that and I see the surprised look on their face, that is a huge joy for me. Well, there you have it. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the build and these finished shots. Remember to click, like, subscribe, learn, and as always, thank you tons for watching.